Have you ever said to yourself, I'll do it when? Or I'll do it when. Have either one of you ever said that to yourself or thought it?
In
Yes?
fact,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah. Okay,
yes,
so
all the time I've done that.
yeah, and it hit home with me, to be very honest, 2 years ago. It's gonna be 2 years this year with my cancer. Because I went for Chinese food, and when I was out, I got the call I had cancer. And so all of the I'll do it when kind of like came to my forefront. But then I'll be honest with you guys, I forgot about it because I went through my surgery and I, knock on wood, became cancer free. Right before the holidays, a very good friend of mine, well, like we have like work friends, you have your personal friends or work friends. I've worked with this woman for many years, and she went to bed on a Monday and didn't wake up on a Tuesday. And I think about her often because she would always say, "Oh, Michelle, when I retire, I'm going to do my traveling. Michelle, when I retire, I'm going to." And she never got to retire.
Hmm.
And sometimes I think we take this I'll do it when as a guarantee
Mm.
that we're going to wake up every morning. Like, I know that sounds morbid, and that's not what I'm trying to make this episode about. I think it's more important to have a conversation about why are you waiting? Now, there's legit reasons to wait for things, you know? There is, I am maybe living in this area because it has the best schools and I want my children to go through that school. Okay, I can understand that. And if that's what you're doing, what is your plan? Like, are you having a conversation? Are you actively preparing to move on? Like, I think even for myself, think sometimes we get so caught up in the mundane stuff, we forget about what ignites us. And I think we were talking for a moment off camera, even those, I'll use that China when. I'm going to say, I got this beautiful outfit for when I have to get dressed up, and then you never wear it. Like, why can't we just wear a fancy outfit if we feel like it? Put that China out to have peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, especially with everything everyone's gone through in the last 4 years.
Hmm.
Oh,
Yeah, totally. But I think it's a mindset where you have to choose to go, all those sayings and cliches, they're actually true. Like today's the best day of your life, wake up and all this. And if you actually kind of infuse that a bit into going, yeah, when I would travel, I would buy things and I would bring them home and I would never use them. Like say like a cute um cover up or something like that. And I'd be like, oh, that was from blah, blah, blah. I got to save it. And I changed that in the last, I don't know, 5+ years where I went, if I bought it, I'm wearing it now. If I have it, put it on. If not saving things, and I take that into everyday life. Don't say you're going to go visit your friend. Don't say you're going to phone them. Just even the
right.
small things. It doesn't have to be about moving or anything. It's about just doing those things now. And I believe it's a mindset. I think it's so easy to fall into, I'll do it later, I'll do it later.
Yeah, I do think there's a mindset, and I think Tracy G, you hit an excellent point. It's a mindset, and it can be encompassing of larger dreams you want to go after, or like you said, that you think of a friend, oh, I'll call her tomorrow. Well, if you have time, call her or put it on your calendar so it pops up. Because if you get busy, you might forget about it. Like if you're in the middle of like this. If we're in the middle of recording like this and something comes to mind, you can still write it down so you can get to it. But I think we get so engrossed in or overwhelmed. I don't think it's engrossed. I think it's more overwhelmed in everything that we kind of push what our dream or what we really want to the side. And you might not be able to go after that today, but you might be able to do something towards it. You know, you might be able to. I talked about like, you don't want to live where you are forever. Well, you can start doing research. Like, where do you want to move to? Like, but we just think, I'll get to it when. I don't know. I get caught up in it too. I get caught up in it also.
Yeah, later is a danger. I mean, there's two different things we're talking about here, because there is that whole delayed gratification that I think uh, has kind of gone by the wayside. Everybody wants everything now, right? We're talking about when it is literally bust out the china, right? Like, I mean, my mom had a set of good china that would only come out for certain occasions, and it was like, well, this is nice china. Why don't we use it every day? And it was like, no, it's only for certain occasions. People buy the nice couch and they leave the plastic on it because they don't want to get it wrecked, and they want to keep it looking great for the next 20 years. It's like we're missing out on that. It's so interesting because even at this Christmas, I was putting away some dishes that I had used for Christmas dinner, and I had to move my grandmother's teacups. And when I was doing that, I was like, I never use these. Like, this is crazy. Like, I should like make a point of having tea in here at least once a month in these special cups that I have. Otherwise, they sit hidden, and then they get all forgotten about, right? And it's like,
Right.
how many other things are we forgetting about because we keep saying, oh, well, we'll do that later. Or when this happens, when I retire, like your friend, or, when
Yep.
I've lost 20 pounds, I'll do this. Or, it's like all of those things that we're
I
missing
won't
out
go
on.
to the beach. I'll go to the beach when I can fit into a two-piece. Well, what the hell's wrong with the one piece? Like, we do too much comparison, too much self-judgment, too much, we don't value our time here. And yeah, it is that I'll do it when. And when I even catch myself doing it, like, um, I ask myself, well, why? Why? Why can't I do it now? You know,
Yeah.
ask that question. And if there's a valid reason why, oh, okay, I can see that. I might put it on my calendar or something so I don't forget about it. But I don't know, Tracy, and Tracy, I like the way, Tracy, you said your mom always said, no, it's for special occasions. And I
Mhm.
think that's the next loop we get caught into. I'll do it when, because we were brought up, and I'm going to say it's a general, I'm not going to say the word right, generational teaching. And at times, I think that can be a curse. And I
Mhm.
don't think your mother, my mother, Tracy's mother ever thought that it would mean to be a curse. But you get caught up in that's how you were brought up.
Mhm.
That's when I use the china, is only when I have company. It's only when I have special occasion. Well, then what constitute company? Is it when your daughter comes over? Or is it when a distant cousin you haven't seen in 3 years? Or is it your neighbor? Or like we can get into these cycles of then what constitutes company?
Yeah.
Like what constitutes that? And we get into these generational learnings, and we have to ask ourselves, is that still a valid learning?
Yeah. For us, it was always my mom's thing was it had to be for special occasions, meaning it had to be something on the calendar, like Christmas, Easter, Thanksgiving. That's when the good dishes got busted out. And it's like you also get to decide what a special occasion actually is. You could make every Friday night a special occasion.
Exactly.
You know, you could make, like, I don't know if families still do Sunday dinners or not, but if they do, have your best dishes out on Sunday for your family. And if something gets broken, it gets broken, but at least there's been the joy of using and talking about the special china, like all of those things, right?
Yes.
And we miss out on even that ability, that storytelling ability to even recount that story because we leave things hidden away. My next cup of tea is going to be out of my grandmother's
There you
teacup.
go.
Yeah.
But it's more
I
than
like,
just the things we have, right? Like,
Yes.
you know what I mean? Like, I'm stopping myself because I go, oh, I'm not going to go back to school because I have to do this, or I'm not going to start a business. I don't want to say to lose weight, but I'm not going to go do a sport because I don't feel I'm ready for it. I'll do it later when I have time and all of that. I won't, maybe you can't do the big trip, but I can do a day trip. Why can't I do that? And
Yep.
we always say, I'll do it later. And if we actually tracked what we did with our time, we would go, oh my God, I have the time to do this. I'm just choosing not to do it. And I think then that comes in with some other mindset stuff where I'm not good
Yep.
enough and all that crap.
Yeah. So I think it's important that when you just catch yourself saying that, I'll do it later, or I'll do it when. If you ask yourself why, that's it. Ask yourself, that little word can be so powerful,
Yeah.
so powerful. And then when you say why, say, is this still valid? Is it true? What can I do? What small thing can I do? Like, something that you can go after that. I think as we're getting back, somebody once said, I heard somebody say, we're in 2024 and it's been 4 years since that awful disease and what happened to us. And I'd love for people to take a step back and have you gone back to the norm where you're busier than anything? And have you forgotten maybe about promises you made or taking out the china or making that wish list or I'll do it when? Like, where are you falling within there?
And maybe that's what we can encourage everybody who's watching this to do right now is to take a piece of paper and a pen, old-fashioned pen, and actually write down all of the things that you can think of that you said, I'll do this later, or I will do this when. And write all of those things down. And maybe there's a whole bunch of them that you've already done, but maybe there's a whole bunch that will be wonderful for you to do now, this year. Take the opportunity to fulfill that dream, that request that you had of yourself. Because that's what it is. It's a request that you're creating for yourself that really wants to be fulfilled. It's not something that's just, it's a whim, I'll throw it out there. I mean, even my china wants to be used.
Yeah, yeah. I understand growing up, it was more of a prestige thing, putting out the china and all of that aspect. But no, I just don't like it just has hit home. It hit home when I was diagnosed with cancer, and then it hit home when this friend passed. Like, Michelle, you're falling through the cracks, you know? And so I'd like to read something to you. I'll do it when. Push it away. That dream, mission, passion, and happiness. I'll do it when. The time is right. I have everything in order. I'll do it when. I'm not so tired. I'm skinnier. The kids are grown. I'll do it when. What happens when time runs out? When it didn't happen. You never know when. There will be no more whens. So grab your when you can. Don't let when escape you.
Perfect.
So yeah, you need to, not you need to, we need to embrace it.
Yes.
We need to.
I think we need to acknowledge it first and go,
Yes.
how am I
Yes.
spending my days? And then, start asking the why.
Yeah,
and not wait for the big life events to hit us, like cancer, losing someone,
Yeah.
all of those things, before we then say, wow, I got to rethink things here.
Yeah. Yes, that's phenomenal. So we would love to hear your comments on this. Please comment below on this, on what you think about I'll do it when. And do you catch yourself doing that? Don't forget to subscribe, like this episode, or share it with somebody who says that all the time and needs maybe a little bit encouragement to stop putting off that dream. And always subscribe, and until our next episode, talk to you later.
Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you as a regular member of our community.